Hello, I'm XTrick and welcome back to the Minecraft update news video. Today I have the best type of update news to share with you all because a brand new Minecraft Bedrock update is now officially available to download. The 1.12.0 update is available for all Minecraft Bedrock platforms. If you don't have it now, you should have it very shortly. And yeah, the interesting thing about this update is that everyone downloads it and then immediately asks the same question, which is what exactly is inside this update? And interestingly enough, the answer to that question is surprisingly close to nothing. There are a few Bedrock updates like this where there isn't really any notable gameplay changes, but I want to talk about all the changes in this update that I thought were interesting, because the truth is this update is simply summed up as a bug fix update. It's mostly about fixing bugs and making map making improvements, but within those bugs, within those map making improvements, there are a few things which are really important to specific players, and I want to talk about some which I think are important, and maybe you do agree. So yeah, please do like this video if you do like it, but let's dive straight into the 1.12.0 bug fix. And in case you're curious, we're here in my, cursed Minecraft world thing with all the torches, not because it's relevant to the video, but because, you know what, if we're talking about a somewhat boring update, let's have some interesting background gameplay, and everyone loves looking at these torches, I have gathered from that past video at least. So yeah, with that said, let's dive straight into this update, because there are only some changes that are actually listed as changes. The vast majority of the changelog just says bug fixes, so in case you're curious about the actual changes in this update, they have increased the frequency and volume of the ambient mob sounds made during villager raids, because before it would take around 30 seconds between each, horn, thing during the raid. Now you can locate the missing, pillagers much easier. It's just a quality of life improvement, important to make. They've made new wandering trader sounds, which is kind of cool. They've updated the main menu splash text. I'll show them all on screen right now. But yeah, the only one I thought was interesting was like, go see your dentist. And you know what? It is important to go see your dentist on a regular basis. Minecraft not only can recommend other games and make jokes, but it can tell you to call your mother and now to, I guess, go see your dentist, which you've probably been putting off for too long. Go see your dentist, by the way. And yeah, as well as that, we've updated the default main menu, panorama from aquatic to village and pillage. This actually happened before this update for most people, so you won't notice there's a new panorama, but you might have noticed if somehow you were still on the update aquatic, which some people still were. So yeah, that's a new change to the menu screen. You'll also notice that the menu screen now says marketplace as opposed to store. This is a really, small change. It's just a wording thing, but in my opinion, it's really important because Bedrock gets a lot of hate for having, like a kind of like, mobile game style, store in them thing. But truth be told, it is a marketplace. It's a place where you can buy maps from other creators. You can still download maps for free, but it's a way for, people to in the game buy those things. I would argue it's pushed too much. That's what makes it seem scummy on the outside. But no, it's a really good business model that allows some people to make a living selling Minecraft maps. It's a cool thing, and I think marketplace better sums that up than like, oh yeah, no, this is the store where you can buy mine coins and buy DLC, which will shove in your face regularly. And admittedly, they still have like a dragon trying to tell you like, please click on the marketplace. We want your money really badly. It feels that way. That's how people get the impression from it. Although that whoever's doing the marketing for it is probably a little bit off base of what the general Minecraft community thinks is good. The actual thing itself, I think marketplace makes way more sense. That's a good change. Also, realm owners can now set relevant realm missions for people invited to their realm, which means that you can now make it so that default people joining your realm don't have powers until you give it to them. This is useful for my realm experiments, as you might guess. I don't know if I will use it or if I'll just set everyone to good by default, but yeah, it's a handy way to deal with hackers because you can't hack if you don't have permissions. I don't think. We'll have to see if that is something that works. But yeah, we've also got it, a bunch of bug fixes this update, and yeah, this is the end of the actual change list. Like, oh, it was all of that, and you summed it up in like 6 different things. Yeah, there's only 6 real changes to this update, but there's also a lot of other changes that are bug fixes that you might find really important. So first of all, performance across the board has been improved. There are improvements to performance that you're going to notice in pretty much every aspect of Minecraft, but the ones that I thought were particularly cool were the ones they've made to multiplayer. Chunk loading is now much faster in multiplayer, and again, if you don't play multiplayer, then sure, that doesn't matter. I mean, like, we're playing Minecraft, we're not here to make friends, we're here to, like, mine diamonds and kill horses or whatever else. But yeah, even though that's what we're here to do, if you are playing multiplayer, every now and then you might notice how it gets really, really laggy. This is something that, Minecraft hasn't done for a really long time, but they made some serious improvements to make that better, so that's always a good thing in my opinion. Also, they've, made fixes to a lot of other performance aspects, but then also fixed some bugs that are just like, yeah, why was that there in the first place? They've been there for quite some time, and they finally fixed them. Just weird things that would have been hard to locate. So my favorite one, you can read the list if you want to find one for yourself, because I recommend bug fixes. Just play the game and things get better. Like, oh, you open your inventory and it's not as laggy anymore. That's really nice, right? But yeah, the interesting change that they've made that I am just so glad is they finally improved the speed of packed ice and blue ice mining. For some reason, reason, both of these blocks were not affected by enchantments before. I don't think it was affected by pickaxe speed either, which basically meant that even with a diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5, which I have for the sole purpose of doing this thing, even with a diamond pickaxe efficiency 5, it took this long to mine, packed ice before. Now, how long does it take to mine, packed ice? This is how fast I can mine it with a, with efficiency 5 pickaxe. Pretty cool, right? I mean, the difference is absurd. And then if we go to blue ice, you can see before, again, seriously slow. Now it's a really fast mine. So yeah, blue ice is now significantly more obtainable, both via, mining it directly, but also via packed ice, which means what we can finally do. One of the big projects I wanted to do forever is, make a giant blue ice highway, and that means mining a lot of packed ice. So if you're a fan of the silly live streams on the channel, which apparently a lot of people really hate the names of them and therefore hate the content, but 90 minutes of literally just mining ice in Minecraft, maybe even 100 minutes, maybe 120 minutes, lots of mining packed ice and literally doing not much else for 120 minutes, that's a thing you can now expect because of a bug fix in this update. Honestly, it seems like a small change, but the fact that there's people focusing on things like this was done by Corner Hard MC, if you don't know, David at Minecrafter, like he's one of the developers who's like, trying to listen to the community. I really like that, big thank you to him. Let's all just praise him and follow him on Twitter because, blue ice changes deserve a Twitter follow, in my opinion. But yeah, besides blatantly, just trying to shill for my favorite part of this update, let's talk about some of the things that you might care about. Because again, significant performance changes, bug fixes to lots of important things, but also they've made some changes towards parity. Not the huge ones we expected. This isn't a very big update parity, but we're starting to see some small things change. So for instance, before this update, every single item in Minecraft, with pretty much no exceptions that I was aware of, had this same white text, and now they've changed it to be like the Java edition, where the golden apple and the enchanted apple are blue and purple, respectively, to match Java. The tooltip now indicates that this is kind of, this is a regular item, this is rare, this is really rare. You literally can't craft these anymore. That's a 1.10 change, if I'm not mistaken, but you can't craft these, so they're super, super rare. When you find one, you need to know this is important, and that purple text might do that for you. But like I said, for some reason, as far as I'm aware, in Java, there's a lot of blue items, green items, and purple items with the text. In the Bedrock edition, everything is white that I'm aware of. Tell me if you think I'm wrong there. I checked every single item just to make sure. But yeah, none of the items available in the creative inventory allow you to do that. Also in this update, there's a lot of changes to map makers. Like I said, they can make custom biomes now. They can make custom, a lot of other things. Again, map makers, very happy with this update. People who make Minecraft add-ons or mods for Bedrock, which is what they basically are. The scripting engine has been significantly improved. Also, at the same time as all of those things, they've made changes to improve commands. That's right, they've improved the speed of commands. They've improved, the ability to do commands like the /give command is slightly better. If you use commands, there's a few changes that might be here that might be important, but I think the performance improvement when using targeted selectors, that's something that's quite important for doing ridiculous stuff like, say, you wanted to, cover an area in torches. Let's say that was a thing you wanted to do with commands. That would be made a little bit faster, as I understand it, because of the weird selector required for that. So yeah, basically this is a good change for anyone who uses commands. And yeah, this overall update, because I could, talk one by one, pick off changes, but I think the truth is most of these won't affect you. Some of these will, but that's the nature of bug fixes. A lot of the time, especially at Bedrock, where there's been a lot of, pressure to move the game forwards, and rightfully so, I would say, but there's been a lot of pressure at Bedrock to move the game forwards, and to some extent, that's come at the cost of, like all of the things that, come along with that, like stability, and all those sorts of things are not really being kept up to date on the same level. So it's cool to see that, you could argue for once, but it's cool to see that we're now at a level where the bug fixes are happening here. Obviously, there's still going to be the parity changes, which I hope are being made with some decent speed, but the fact that we've got a whole update full of bug fixes, the next update's full of bug fixes, is cool to see. But then, to kind of counterpoint my counterpoint, because again, bug fixes, they're just unexciting updates. No one's inspired, and like as a YouTuber, I probably have an interest in people being inspired by updates, because that probably has to be good for business, right? But then to kind of like counteract it, because I think bug fixes are a good thing for the game, I think Bedrock desperately needs a lot of bugs to be fixed, and that's cool to see. But on the other hand, we're fixing a lot of bugs, we're putting a lot of people, like, there are some dozens of staff members working on bug fixes and improvement changes and stuff like that. However, that is happening, but at the same time, you see small things slip through the gaps. You might say, like, what do I mean by that? And although there's a lot of bugs, too many to really mention here, that haven't been fixed in this update, let's talk about the one that to me is most ridiculous. Like, it's my favorite bug, because it doesn't really affect anything, but it also shows, like, how does this keep making it here? So, the sea lantern as an item, right? This is my favorite item in the game. It's not actually, I mean, it's a cool item, like light underwater, it's nice and stuff. But the sea lantern is this block right here, except no, it's not in Minecraft Bedrock. This is the sea lantern I think you'll find. So yeah, this is only on the Xbox version. I don't know how there is a separate code base that has separate naming. You know, maybe it's only in British English because less people have been, you know, pointing out to me. Fewer people have been saying that. But yeah, the interesting thing is that there is 2 sea lanterns in Minecraft Bedrock because the lantern is still incorrectly named. How many updates has it been now? I think it was 1.9 where this came in incorrectly named, and it hasn't. I think it was fixed and then unfixed afterwards. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how an item like this manages to evade that. But yeah, that is this update in a nutshell. There is a lot of bug fixes, and yeah, before, what we used to do is we used to go line by line for the bug fixes. But again, I recommend checking out the thing at the link down below, or using the Minecraft wiki, or wherever you want to check them out. But for now, you just got to know this is 1.12. It's a bug fix. If you're mad about that, don't worry. There is usually an update every couple of months for Minecraft Bedrock. So I would expect at the end of August, 1.30, maybe start of September. But you know, in the next couple of months, you can expect to see some form of Minecraft Bedrock update, and that one's going to include foxes, and you know, I don't really care about foxes, but apparently the whole community does, so if you like foxes, then good news, just wait for the next update and you can be happy in the world. If you don't like foxes, but you like seeing all these torches, that's the one reason you watch this video. I'm thinking of doing something, now that, you know, command performance has been improved, I'm considering also, you know, as well as like taking advantage of the blue ice, which I'll do at some point in the next couple of days. I'll let you know via Twitter if you want to know when that is, because a lot of people like the streams. But also, I'm considering doing something with like, okay, let's use this command thing, but let's do it in a more extreme place, somewhere like the Farlands. So yeah, I might just curse the Farlands next. It'll be a fun time, because the Farlands are basically the original cursed image for Minecraft, right? Anyway, yeah, with that said, hope you all enjoyed this video and the little bit of rambling that came alongside it. I hope you all enjoy the sea lantern, which is my favorite block in the game. I mean, who doesn't love a good old sea lantern? Craft one now while they last, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you next time. Bye.